I wanted to bring in CBS News political contributor Terry Sullivan because he's been a campaign manager for a presidential run. And so, Terry, what about this latest news that Donald Trump says that planned debate in September, it's now off?
Well, I mean, look, it's a reshuffling of the deck. We don't even know, the Trump campaign doesn't know who they're running against. And I do think that, it looks like, President Obama's statement about having an open process. I think this thing is far from over on being decided on who the Democrat nominee will be. And so he's going to pull back and he's going to, then he can renegotiate. Clearly, he wanted to debate against Joe Biden as much as humanly possible. If it's someone else, it may not behoove him politically. So he's going to wait this thing out and see who his opponent's going to be while the Democrats fight this thing out.
It's an excellent point, Terry. Thank you. And what about that, Ed? I mean, how does this play out in the coming months about what Donald Trump does in this interim period of 10 days, as you mentioned, before the delegates vote?
Well, I think, and Bob was discussing earlier the details of his conversation with Trump. They're not going to, the attacks on her will begin tonight. So they will get to go out and prosecute the case against her. She's got to decide here in the next few hours, do I get out ahead of the president and start campaigning for president myself? Am I deferential to him? Do I have to pick a running mate sooner rather than later to allay the concerns and allow that person to get out there as well? It will become a challenge. One thing we did learn, and we should pass along, there was a call among campaign staff a little while ago, and they were told by senior leadership, Jen O'Malley Dillon and Julie Chavez Rodriguez, if you have a job today, you have a job tomorrow. And they reiterated that essentially it's now the Harris campaign. We said earlier the paperwork has been filed, and it's now the Harris campaign for president. The Biden name has been dropped. And the strategy will have to shift, because now they're going to have to defend her and her record and who she is, while also prosecuting the case against former President Trump, which it would seem this candidate is more willing to do, perhaps more forcefully, than the sitting president.
Ed O'Keefe, thank you. I want to bring in Joel Payne, a Democratic strategist. Joel, what about that? Can the Democratic Party wait 10 days when the full weight of Donald Trump and his campaign is going to start firing rhetorical missiles at Kamala Harris?
I was checking in to just learn more about all the things that are going on. Look, I think the Harris team has been kind of seeing the writing on the wall about this for a while. And you've actually seen a lot of Democrats start to list out supporting Kamala Harris as an imperative in recent weeks. I think you're going to see a lot of Democrats have her back. To Margaret's point earlier about the issue of abortion being an issue that is much more live now, because you have a candidate in Kamala Harris who not only will say the word abortion, but is a very trusted voice and advocate on that issue. And I also think that point about Gaza is so very important. That issue was really, if you think about it, I called it the destabilizer. It was the thing that initially destabilized the Biden coalition, because it cut at his credibility with so many key parts of that anti-Trump coalition he needed to keep together. Kamala Harris resets the clock on that in many ways, and I think gets a second look at some of those voters who may have, partially or fully eliminated Joe Biden from consideration. I think Kamala Harris gives a second look at that. So you have a lot of key Democratic constituencies that have been, at best, nervous or reluctant to come back to support Joe Biden this time around. I think Kamala Harris potentially being at the top of the ticket would bring a lot of those constituencies back.
And we have seen some of those constituencies, certainly those represented by lawmakers in Congress, already throwing their support behind the vice president.